whatever you want.
Okay. I'm going to make some macaroni and cheese. We have our boiling water, salted water. You have to bring it to a nice rolling boil. Pour the macaroni in. Of course, you have to stir it. And don't boil the macaroni until it's really soft, just really al dente, because you're going to finish cooking it in the oven. And in our macaroni and cheese, we're going to do, for 1 pound of macaroni, you're going to make a roux from clarified butter. It's about 3 tablespoons. We have about 3 tablespoons of flour, 4 cups of milk. You can use whole milk, low fat, whichever you like. We're also going to put a little bit of nutmeg in the sauce, the cheese sauce. We have extra sharp cheddar cheese, about 3.5 pounds. You can do 4 pounds, however much cheese you like. And I also put either gorgonzola or a nice Maytag blue cheese in there. And I also use really good Dijon mustard. That makes a really nice cheese sauce for the macaroni and cheese. We start it on top of the oven and we finish it in the oven, and we'll see how it looks when we're done. It's really good. So the macaroni is done. I don't like it really soft. Again, really al dente. Barely, you know, you can barely chew it because it's going to finish cooking in the stove. So we'll take this now, we'll drain it into the colander. Drain the macaroni into the colander. Get it all out. So I'm going to use the same pot to make my cheese sauce. I'm going to use a lot of pots. I got 1 pot, and that's what I use. It's a good pot. We have our clarified butter. Same pot. Just drain the macaroni out of it and melt your clarified butter, or butter. If you don't clarify your butter, I always clarify my butter to get the milk fat out. It cooks a lot nicer. And I like using butter. So let your butter melt. Crank the fire a little bit. Not too much. Low, medium flame for the start of this to get it going.
Why are people still debating over using margarine or butter?
Because butter supposedly clogs your arteries, and now they found margarine does, but either way, if you have too much of it, it's no good. Too much of anything is no good, in my mind. Butter always tastes better. And you can see how clean it is when you clarify it. It doesn't have any of the milk fat. So to this, I add my flour, and I whisk it in. And I'm going to make a nice roux. And I think they call this a bechamel sauce as well. And you cook this because you want the flour to cook. You don't want to have this raw flour. So you let this cook a bit and whisk it up. Again, not a high flame because it will burn. So you have to stand and whisk it and watch it. It smells good too. We turn our flame down because we don't want it to be too hot when we add the milk. Make sure you put not cold milk, but it should be pretty room temperature when you're doing this. So you can start adding your milk. And whisk as you add because it will get thick because it is warm. And I just keep whisking as I add. And it will thicken up as it cooks. Once I get all the milk in there, I turn it back up, turn the flame back up. Because once it gets warm, I'm going to start adding my cheese and all of my flavoring to this sauce. And again, this is 4 cups of milk. Seems like a lot, but it cooks down once the cheese is added and it's in the oven. So that's 4 cups of milk. I'll let this get warmed up and thickened a little bit. Once it's all incorporated, you know, just let it warm up and you can start whisking in your cheeses. Now we're going to add our cheddar cheese. Extra sharp I use. I use yellow or white, doesn't matter. I don't put it all at once. I let it melt and then I put more. I dice the cheese into squares so it melts a little bit quicker. 1/2-inch dice if you want. Any way you put it in there, it's going to melt. But it's just a matter of the smaller the pieces, the quicker the cheese will blend into the sauce. And again, don't use a high flame because it will cook too fast and it won't be good. It's almost like making fondue. The cheddar cheese is pretty much melted and it's a sauce. I'm going to add the blue cheese. That was just barely a 1/4 cup. Blue cheese is really strong, so you don't need that much of it. Put in your Dijon mustard. Again, all this adds really nice spice and kick to the sauce, so you get a really great flavored macaroni and cheese. And then I put a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg in, which makes it really exotic tasting to me. I think it adds quite a bit of flavor to the sauce.
Savory.
I guess you can call it savory, but I'm not sure what you call it, but it's good. So that's my cheese sauce, and I'm gonna put this on the macaroni and cheese, and I'm gonna put it in the oven. Put our macaroni into our casserole pan. Make sure your oven is preheated to 400 degrees, 350 to 400 degrees. I usually use a convection oven because it just cooks a lot nicer and browns. Put your cheese sauce into your macaroni. Give it a bit of a stir to make sure it's all covered. So we see that the macaroni is in there with the cheese. It's very nice. Put a little black pepper in there too. This makes it nice. Black pepper. And now we're going to make our topping. I have some fresh breadcrumbs from some nice French bread that I make. Some fresh Parmigiano Reggiano cheese that I grated. I put the two together, mix them up a little bit. Don't be shy, and sprinkle this right on top of your macaroni and cheese. And it gets nice and brown, and it adds some more flavor because you have the Parmesan cheese there. So I used 3 cheeses in this casserole. I used extra sharp cheddar cheese from Vermont. I used the nice Maytag blue cheese. And now I'm using a nice Parmesan cheese. I used Dijon mustard, only the best. And I used a little bit of nutmeg. We're going to put this in the oven. Let it get nice and brown. And we'll show it to you when it comes out. Okay, so we are going to take our macaroni and cheese out of the oven. It's ready. It's bubbling and it's got a nice brown topping to it, which looks really delicious. This is what you want it to look like. But this macaroni is excellent.